I can still hear the sound of that screen door slamming. It wasn't just a door, it was a warning, a punctuation mark, a signal that something in the air had shifted. I was 10 years old the summer I learned to measure my father's mood by the way that door closed. We lived in a squat, weather-beaten house with peeling paint that never quite held onto its color. Inside, everything smelled faintly of fried onions and damp laundry. My mom worked double shifts at the diner, her uniform always smelling of coffee and bacon grease, while Dad spent long days at the mill. Money was thin, and tempers were thinner. Still, there were moments, strange, crooked moments, that felt like love. One evening, after dinner, my brother and I decided to put on a show in the living room. It was my idea. I'd play the announcer and he'd be the clown. We dragged old blankets across the floor for curtains, balancing on milk crates like circus performers. My brother, 5 and fearless, smeared ketchup across his face for makeup. I remember the smell of it, sharp and sour, and how proud he was of his disguise. "Ladies and gentlemen," I declared in my most dramatic voice, "the funniest clown in town!" Mom clapped tiredly, sinking deeper into the sagging couch, her eyes half closed from exhaustion. Dad cracked a beer and leaned back in his chair, boots still on, watching with a half smile that I took as approval. My brother tumbled forward, trying to juggle 3 bruised apples. They hit the floor one by one, rolling under the furniture. I laughed so hard my stomach hurt, and even Mom chuckled softly. But then, he slipped. His little body went down hard, knocking into Dad's chair. The beer spilled, dark and bitter, soaking into the frayed carpet. The silence that followed was sharper than any sound. Dad's jaw tightened. He stood, slow and deliberate, and the air seemed to shrink. "Damn it, boy," he muttered, not quite shouting but close enough to make my chest ache. My brother froze. Ketchup streaked down his cheek like blood. I rushed forward, babbling, "It was my idea, Dad." It was supposed to be funny. For a second, I thought he might raise his hand. Instead, he pressed his lips together, grabbed his jacket, and slammed the screen door so hard the house rattled. We sat there, me, my brother, and Mom, listening to the echo. No one moved. The apples still lay scattered across the floor, red and bruised, like something wounded. After a while, Mom picked one up, turned it in her hand, and said softly, "Maybe tomorrow, no circus." Her voice was even, but her eyes were glassy. That night, I lay awake listening for the sound of the truck returning. I wanted him to come home angry, rather than not at all. I wanted Mom to rest. I wanted us to laugh without fear. Looking back now, I see the truth of it. We were children trying to make a family out of scraps, trying to squeeze joy into the cracks of something fragile. What felt like a small accident that night was really a lesson. We learned early how quickly laughter could curdle into silence, how love could live side by side with fear. Even now, when I smell ketchup or hear a door slam, I'm back in that living room with the bruised apples on the floor, and I think about how childhood teaches us to juggle, hope in one hand, fear in the other, and how easily both can slip away.